Hi, in this tutorial we're gonna learn about the Java programming language. And before starting, we're gonna download the Java integrated development environment, and by that we mean the place that we're gonna write our code and our code test and debug our code. So all what you have to do, just go to the Google and type in Java IDE, which is shortcut for integrated development environment, and you're gonna get a lot of integrated development environment. So choose whichever you like. And for personally, I have installed the Eclipse. So if you go over here to their website, eclipse.org, and the downloads. So you press, I have the Windows 64-bit, so you download this, and after that, the file will be downloaded, and we're gonna open it, and just wait a few seconds for it to be open. So over here you have a few options, and we're gonna go for the Eclipse IDE for Java developers, and just press it, and then you just press install. What you have to do is just install it, and after that, I have already installed it, so all what you have to I will type in Eclipse and just open it, and you'll get a screen like this. So you get this screen, and after that, just choose create a new Java project, and after that you create your project. But in this tutorial, what I will be using is the online Java compiler. Personally, I use the website onlinegdb.com. So you come over here and you write your code over here. So in this tutorial, I will be using this online compiler, but you could also use your own integrated development environment. So yeah. So first we're gonna start by creating a main class. So to create class, you just type in the public and then class, and then this class we're gonna name it main with M capital. That's what we usually do for your main class. And then inside our main class, we're gonna create our main method. So basically you have to type this method whenever you're creating Java programs, and you write in public static void and you type in main, but in this time we write it as a small. The first letter is small, and then over here you put the string with S capital and the brackets and then arcs. So, and then we're gonna open our braces. So what we did is created a class, named it main, and this is, we opened the braces. Whenever you're creating a class or method, anything that's inside it will be inside the braces. So all this stuff is inside our main class, and whatever we write over here is gonna be inside our main method, which is inside our main class. So, and let's explain what we mean by the public. And by the public we mean it doesn't have any restrictions. So if you make it private, it will have some restrictions. And over here we have the static, which it means that our main method, which is this method, is associated with our class. So basically we don't have to create an object for to call this method. So basically this is a method, and this is the class. And we said we explained the public and static, and the void means that we are not gonna, this method is not gonna return anything. So if we want to return integer, then we would make it this, or maybe double, but our main method is not gonna return anything. And then we're gonna put the string, all of the stuff over here. So, and what we also gonna need is how how to write, how to output a text to the, if we want to ask from the user what to do. So you could do that by writing in system with the S capital, and then you're gonna put the system out, and then you put print and whatever you type. So let's type hello world, and then as we also use the parentheses. So after writing the print, you use parentheses and you write your text, and all the text that you write is gonna be inside two quotation mark. So, and this is called a string literal. And before ending and after ending your each line of yours code, you just put the semicolon over here. This means that this statement has ended and we could start a new statement. So let's run this, and now our program will show hello world because we put that this gonna be printed on new screen. And another thing we could say, let's type another code. So we're gonna say print what. So if we do that, we're also gonna put the semicolon to specify that we have reached the end. So whenever in every line you have to put the semicolon over here. So if I run this, you guys see that the both texts are not separated. So basically we ended hello world and then immediately we started the what is your name. And the way to write each one of them in one line is by putting over here ln. So you type in print and then you put ln. So if I run this now, it's gonna print the hello world in complete line, and then start the other what's your name in completely new line. So this one is gonna take a whole line, and if we put over here ln, this also gonna start on a take complete line. And so yeah, this is the way to output. And now let's learn about how to put an input. So basically we ask from the user what's your name, and let's put it over ln over here to specify at the end of the line, and we want from the user to enter a name, his name. So the way to do that is by getting an input from the user. So first thing, we have to create since we are gonna ask from the user for his name, in this case we're gonna need a string. So basically when you need a number, you could either get a variable integer or double, but if you want to get text, you could get a string. And if you just want to get one character, then you could get the char. So we have the int for integer numbers, double for the decimal numbers, and we also have the string with the capital S. Whenever you're writing the string, you have to write it with capital S, and we have char for the one character. Now we will go with the string, and we're gonna name our variable name. So just we created a new variable and name and give it name. We could give it another name. We could name it like username. So whenever you're writing the variable name, try to make it meaningful. So basically if somebody reads your code, or maybe you even read your code in the future, you could understand what does it mean. So over here you could see username. It's obvious that this is for username. This variable is for the username. Or maybe you have the like temperature, you could write it temp, so shortcut for temperature. Or maybe you have number of values, or maybe number of num is for shortcut for the number. You could name it anything you want, but just try to make it meaningful. So in this one, we're gonna go with username. And as you guys see, when I type the user, when I start the second name or the second word, I make the first word on that as a capital. So now it will be easier for somebody to understand that this is two words. This is called camel case, and it's good practice to use. And another option, you have to use the underscore and type in username. So it's up to you whichever you use. So we will go with the camel case, and we over here. So we're gonna this way we're gonna ask from the user to enter his name. So we're gonna type in user name, but how we gonna ask from the user his input? The way to do that is we're gonna need something called a scanner in the Java. So first we will import our scanner. So the way to do that is typing in import Java util. So you just in the beginning of the program, before starting your class, all of your class, you just type in import, and then Java util java.util dot the scanner, S capital. So Java has something which is sometimes it uses the capital word. So in other programming languages you don't have the keywords as capital, but in Java you sometimes you get capital words. So be careful about that. And after that you put the semicolon to specify the end of the statement. As you guys see, in every statement we are using the semicolon, except in the public I didn't have, except in the class I didn't put it over here. You can't do that. If you put it over here, then it's gonna give you an error, or maybe in the methods you can't do that. But in other statements, or maybe we have the loops and if statements, then we are not gonna use it over there. We will get there later, but for now just keeping that class and the method is not need a semicolon. Other than that, in all the statements that we are gonna use for now, we're gonna need the semicolon. So we created the scanner, which gonna ask for to get an input from the user, and we're gonna create an scanner. So type in scanner, and yeah, before that, what we did over here is import our scanner class. So we said, okay, go to the Java, and this shortcut, I think it's for utility, and go for the scanner class, which is a utility class saved in our library, and we imported that. And now we're gonna create an object from this class, which is the scanner. So we're gonna name it scanner, but as with shortcut for the small letter as S, not capital, or maybe you just name it short for the scanner, or any name as long as it's obvious. But most of the users use this, so it will be more convenient if you use the method, the name that's used by most of the developers. So we're gonna create an object from a scanner. We're gonna name it also scanner, and then over here we're gonna say, okay, new. You type in new, and you also again you type scanner. This is the way to create an object, or the scanner object from our scanner, and then we're gonna type in system/in, which means that we're gonna get input from the user. This specifies that we are gonna get input from the user. Now we created our scanner object. The way to use it is you type in the scanner name. So we name the scanner, and if you name it something else, you have to change it. So if you name it scanner or some another name, you have to type it over here. But since I created it as scanner with S small, then I will type that name, and after that I will put the dot, and over here we're gonna type in next, and then our parentheses. So this can ask an input from the user. So let's run the program and see what's gonna happen. So we're gonna say hello world, what's your name? So these statements are output, and then let's suppose the user enters John. Now I get an input from the user, and so basically the name John is assigned to the username variable. So I have the John is assigned to the username variable. And if I want to print it out, all what I have to do is just type in system out print, and let's put ln for the end of the line. I will put the the variable name, which is username in this case. So this is gonna print the name for me. So if I run this now again, it's gonna say, hello world, what's your name? And it's gonna print the name for us. As you guys see over here, it's printed the name. Or I could, something else we could do, let's suppose you wanted to put another text over here, so you could say, hi, and you just put the plus sign. So you're saying over here, yes, I would like you to print this is string literal, and then print the username. So if we, it's gonna say hi John, and yeah, we put this empty. As you guys see over here, there is no separation between the hi and John, so we have to separate them by putting a space over here. And then if let's suppose we want to add something else, all what you have to do put plus sign, and we're gonna leave empty space over here so that it's not gonna get attached to the John variable. So we're gonna say, how are you today? So if I run this now, it's gonna say, hi Sam, how are you today? As you guys see, this is the way I output a statement in the Java. By using the plus sign, I could add more than one string to our output. So, but what suppose if I run this one more time, and let's suppose the user enters his full name. So let's suppose he enters John Doe, and this statement is gonna get the only John, and it's gonna throw away the last name. So it's gonna say, hi John, how are you? It didn't take the second part because there is space. Whenever it reaches any space, it's gonna say, okay, that's it. I'm gonna just take everything before the space, which is John. So if I run something like this, it's gonna take it as it's gonna take all of this. After putting a space, it's not gonna take it. So it's not gonna take all of these i's. So if I run it, it's gonna say hi, and it didn't take the i's over here. It just take all of these before the space. And the way to fix that is you're gonna by using the next line. So with the L capital, you type it next line. So if I run it now it's gonna take everything. As you guys see, by putting the line over here, I told him that yes, take everything. Now let's create another type of variable. This time we're gonna go for the double and integers. So let's delete everything over here, and I will create a variable named integer A, and another variable double, I will name it B. So what's the difference between them? If integer is the numbers that it's a whole number, it doesn't have decimal, like it's not 4.3. Like this one, 4.3 is something double. So if I create an integer and give it like 4.3 and I output it, it's gonna throw away the 0.3. It's gonna just print the 4 for me because it's integer. Integer means so, or it in the case of the Java, it's not gonna accept you to assign the the point over here. In other languages, you could do that, but it's gonna throw it away anyway. So all what you can't just put the point over here. You have to give it whole number. So if we give it 4, now we are good. As you guys see, we printed out 4. But with the double, you could give it anything you want, like with the point decimal. So I could give it 4.3 or 4.33 or big values or something like that, 4.0. It's even possible to give it 4.0. So if I print the B now, and we just put the assigning sign, and we print the 4.0, as you guys see. So if I now if I print the A also, you will see the difference between both. As you guys see, this is the double, this is the integer. So that's the difference between the double and the integer. And we could change the value of the our integer variable over here. So if I could just give it another value. I would say, after writing that statement, after initializing the value of a with 4, I could say a equals 5. Now the value of the, or maybe let's make it 9. The value of the a has changed. So if I print the a now, I will get 9 instead of the 4. Even I had the initialized it with 4, it's gonna throw away that value after assigning the new value. And or maybe if I give it another value, I say a equals a plus 3. So what's gonna do this is gonna say, okay, the new value of the a, which is this, is gonna equal the old value of the a, which is 4 plus 3. So 4 plus 3 is gonna give us 7. So if I run this now, it's gonna give us 7. That's the way to write. And as you guys see over here, we are writing a long statement to print whatever we want. So we could make it a little bit shorter by importing our system over here. So we could type in Java lang, which is shortcut for the language. So you type in java.lang.system with S capital. So over here, if we stop over here, we did not do anything. We have to type in our system out. But if I put something else over here, which I says system out, now I don't have to type in the system. All what I have to type in out and print. And I will print. But if I run this statement now, it's gonna give me an error. So let's run it and see the error. It's gonna say, oh yeah, it's not that error. So if I run it one more time, it says that system can't find the symbol. The reason for that is I need to put the static over here. So basically, if I stopped over here, I didn't have to put the static. But since I got to the more deep level, which is out, then I will need to put the static. So if I run this now, it's gonna just print the a for me, and without need to type the system over here. I made it simple. I simplified it. So every statement, if we run, we don't need to type in the system anymore. So as you guys see it, or let's run it this way. But since we are starting learning the Java, it's better to stay away from using this, so we could get used to the normal print statement. And after that, after you get familiar with the Java, you could use that or just stay using the system. And now let's talk about the comment. Sometimes you would like to add a comment to your code to for the whoever gonna read your code, or maybe for you for future. So you could do that by putting 2 forward slash and whatever you type in over here. So let's type in, this is comment. So this is not gonna be compiled with our compiler. So basically our program gonna ignore every comment you write. So if I run this, the program act like it didn't see the comment over here. It's just like it does not exist. And this, we use this 2 forward slash if we are writing just one line of comment. If you're going for more than one line, you could do this, put another comment. So you're gonna say this is the second line. But if you're going for very long lines, then another way is to multi-line comment. Use the multi-line comment, which is the forward slash, and then you put the star sign, and then you're gonna say this is multi-line comment. Now you do the same. You put the star and the slash. Now the forward slash. Now I end this. The comment started from here and it ended over here. This is the beginning. This is the end. And you could put over here any notes for the user, or maybe you're gonna say like for the reader or for whoever gonna read your code, or maybe for yourself. You could say this is for maybe like for temperature value, or maybe something like so. This, it will make your code to look more clean. So it's good practice sometimes to use the comments, especially when you have big programs and you're working as a team, as a group of teams. So it will be helpful to use the comment.